Good morning to you all. It is Wednesday, Wisdom Wednesday. I'm excited that you are here, and I am also excited for the opportunity to share with you today because we are going to be looking at architects of influence, how to cultivate a thriving leadership ecosystem. That is so important, learning how to architect, um, learning what architects do, because we are all actually architects, and how to cultivate a thriving leadership ecosystem. Now, the reason why I came up with this specifically is because I recognize the importance, the value of it. And I had to use it myself, in all honesty. I had to use it myself. So, are you ready? I'll try to keep this as brief as possible. However, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Feel free to ask. Okay? So, what is an architect? An architect is someone that has a vision, they see the vision, and they start creating designs. They take pencil to paper, draw out, they draw out, sorry, they draw out the vision, the designs that's in their heads. This is what they do. And then, of course, once they're finished, they've constructed either the house, the building, the cities, right? Because we all need those, right? Civil engineers. Then it's passed on to the engineers, and the engineers do their part. And then, of course, it gets passed on to those that are actually the builders, the construction team, and then they do their part. And then, of course, there's also all of that upkeep. So we understand the basic role of an architect. See yourself as one. Because remember, you are building a business. You're building a business. You're building your home. You are building in the school, if you homeschool, or maybe you're in, you have a micro school, and or even if you're in the school system, right? As leaders, as leaders, you are also an architect. You want to see other people's success come to fruition, which is powerful and empowering. Now, an architect of influence is someone who has influence. So, yes, you have the vision. And yesterday I spoke about persuasion versus influence. If you have not, check out my Facebook. I went live in there, my Facebook profile. I went live in there and I shared the difference with that. But with influence, people already trust you. People, you've already built a rapport, a relationship with them. They know you. So they know you, like you, trust you. And so you have influence over them. And so now, as a business owner, not only with your clients, but also within yourself and with those that are being magnetized to you, you have constructed, you've architected your level of influence, and it's ever evolving and growing, which is vital, which is important. So now we got that first half, right? The architects of influence. We outlined what an architect does, and then the process that it has to go through, the process that the vision went through. Then we talked about your influence. Now, how do we cultivate a thriving leadership ecosystem? First of all, yes, leadership has an ecosystem. And in order for it to thrive, that system needs to work. It needs to be implemented. It may come as a surprise to many of you, but it is true. And you would see anyone that's top in industry that is doing leadership, they have a system. They have an ecosystem so that works. Now, I will just get right into, I'm going to go right into it here. And the first bit, we're going to look at strategic vision. Now, leaders must have a clear vision, of their ecosystem. And that vision needs to align with the organization's goals and values. So, similar, as I said in the beginning, as an architect, the architect has the vision. You, the leader, you must have a vision. And it's not just any old vision, a strategic vision. What does that mean? I want you guys to think about that for a second. What does it mean to have a strategic vision? Well, when you think of strategy, it's a game plan. You have a plan, you have an outline. Does that mean that you're stuck in this rigid space? No, you need to be flexible as well. And we talk about this a little bit later on. But you need to have a strategic vision. You need to know where you're going. You need to have the navigation system set up. It needs to be exceptionally clear and you need to be aligned. So the goals, the values, the mission, the ideal of your organization, of your business, of your company needs to align with the vision that you have so that not just you are operating effectively and efficiently, but the team as a whole, as a unit, you are moving as one. You have the same vision. You are aligned. We see this in days of old through many military leadership under the influence. And why did they win? Look at Napoleon. Now, we can all have our thoughts on Napoleon, for example, good, bad, or indifferent, but he had strategic vision. Then, towards the end, when he went into Russia, didn't work out so good for him. But in the beginning of his journey, in the beginning of his rise, and then at the peak of it, he had an ecosystem. He wasn't the tallest man in the room, he wasn't the strongest person, but he knew how to lead and he used his vision because other people around him didn't have it. Others around him did not have it. He used it to align with the goal of the nation. You also have to understand during that time, there was the French Revolution, right? The French Revolution happened, he comes into power, there are all of these things that are happening. So your vision needs to align with the values and the goals of your organization and or your nation. So that is step one. Your strategic vision. Two, relationship building. Very, very important. Relationship building. It's cultivating strong relationship with your stakeholders, your mentors, your peers. Cultivating and creating a supportive leadership network. As a leader, you need a network. You need a support system. We cannot go this alone. The journey is long. In saying that, all the relationships that you're building, yes, with your team, you need to have that good rapport. Now you have them coming along with you with the strategic vision. Who is mentoring you? Every single person who has been a leader in the past and present has a mentor. They have someone, they have people that they are surrounded by who are part of their network to help them on their journey because it is a tough journey. It is not easy and it is definitely not for the faint of heart. So who's in your network? Who are your mentors? Mentor, someone who you look up to, who you aspire to be like. You're still you, you're still going towards, but you're seeing, oh wow, this person is an ideal. So a mentor is very, very different from a coach. Who are your peers? There's this saying, show me your net worth, and I'll show you your net worth. Now, we're not just talking about the financial here. Your net worth can also include your character. Show me your friends, show me who you are, right? So it's your character. It's who you are as a person. And yes, financially, because of you're in a particular network, that comes out as well. So, what type of relationship are you building? You will see the type of leaders that you surround yourself with, the people that are in your support group or your that support you on your journey, they themselves, like soon you will see your team start being aligned. Your home starts coming into harmony together because now you are stronger. Now you have the support that you need. Does that mean that everything that they say you're going to take as gospel and go with it? No. You listen to them, you hear what they have to say, and you're going to make your own decision based on your strategic vision, based on where it is that you need to go. Remember, not everyone can follow you. Not everyone can uh, go the path with you. Some can only go a short distance, some a longer distance. Not everybody can stay with you forever on that journey. So your relationship building is important. Number three, continuous learning. Readers are leaders. There is a saying that readers are leaders. I wholeheartedly believe in that. I think that it is true. Oh, thank you, Jesse. Yes, relationship building is, yes, it's good to get people around you. Yes, absolutely. I agree. And yet, don't copy, instead, inspire. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Jesse. That is really great. It's really awesome to recognize that, right? You need to get the right people around you. You need to inspire. Remember, to be inspired is to be in spirit. To be in spirit. That's where the word inspire comes from. Not making it up, go look it up. So, and also be yourself. As I said earlier, and Jesse mentions this here in the comment, you need to be yourself. The next piece of the next piece is learning. Your continuous learning. Readers are leaders. This is true 100%. I read a lot. If you look at anyone in your industry, top of their game, they are readers. They're reading a minimum of an hour a day, a minimum, sometimes 45 minutes, but they're reading. They need to, it's not only reading to gain knowledge to say, I know this, it's reading because you want to be able to understand, right? You're reading so then you can understand what's happening out there, how to, how should you pivot? How can you inspire? How can you grow? How can you lead? Think about that. Any top leader in your industry, any top leader, they are learning continuously. They have their mentors, part of the relationship building. Look at Churchill. He had a mentor. He was reading. Words were that his words inspired and helped a nation through a war. So he was continuously learning, and I encourage you to continuously learn. I'm continuously learning. I'm doing upgrade in my executive leadership coaching. Why? Because I want to know what is happening now. What's the current spirit of the age? I want to know, how are people thinking? How are they feeling? What do they need? Yes, I can go out there and pay someone to do market research, but I want to know. I want to understand, how are things shifting? What is this new language that people are speaking, right? And so I'm always upgrading as well. I'm always training. And aside from that, I'm still reading. My daughter knows when I pick up a book to read and I have on the heart music. Sometimes I put on heart music to read, to like really make sure that my spirit and my mind is ingesting the books, the words, the things that I'm studying or reading. She knows, don't interrupt me at that time. Either come outside and pick out a book and we could be in the same space and she's doing her thing as well. but we're absorbing and learning in those moments. So, as a leader, you need to keep learning. Mhm. Yes, valid point, Jesse. Yes, self education is of the top most importance. Absolutely, 100%. And you know what I love about Jesse, he has his podcast, right? It's for entrepreneurs, and you have to give like these 5-minute wisdom teachings. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because Jesse is an example of someone who is continuously learning. And he continuously learns via his podcast by experts in the industry, by people in industry through their when they sign up and they share their 4 or 5 minute wisdom to his audience. But remember, he still has to read it. He's still learning from them. And what an exemplary example of a leader in industry who is saying, I'm going to continuously learn. I'm going to find a way to not only lead in my business and to lead my clients and support my home and my environment, but I'm also going to learn. I'm going to learn how to be a better leader. I'm going to learn how to support my clients to the best of the abilities. I'm going to learn how to be a better human. How incredible is that? So, self education, 100%. Yep. Oh, thanks, Jesse. Yes. Podcast.net advice. Yep. Thanks for sharing that, Jesse. I'm going to leave that up there so people can see. And definitely connect with him. And this is not like a plug or anything. I just wanted to share it with you guys, you know, the value and the importance of continuous learning, because there's so much that we can learn from it. So, number 4, the next piece of it is accountability. Accountability and empowerment. I remember when I first started on my leadership journey, I didn't even recognize myself as a leader at this time. At that time, I was in the military in my early 20s, and something would happen, I would blame somebody else. Be like, nope, I told them to do this. They didn't listen to me, right? I did that. I'm not even going to try to lie about it. I did that. And the reason why I did that was because I wasn't a leader at the time. And I didn't fully understand. I was a young kid doing, like, I was in the military so I can make money and I could finish up my schooling. And, you know, I was studying humanities and I had these grandiose ideas about how I'm going to save the world, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with. However, I was missing the accountability piece in the beginning. I didn't understand what it meant to be accountable. I didn't understand what it meant to be empowered at that time. Now I do. I had to learn. And how I learned was through continuous learning. When I hit my half a century year, 25, huge shift. I made a huge shift in my life. It's like the world just seems to crumble at 25. Maybe not for everybody, but for me, it just seemed that way. It's like all of what I thought was like, it just crashed. And so I had to rebuild. And part of the rebuilding meant I had to be empowered. And part of the empowerment meant that I had to take accountability. So in that process, guess what I had to do? I started to make friends and new friends, like trying to figure out, who am I going to be with? Remember, your network is your net worth. And it's not only the financial piece, although it is important, it's the other piece. Who is supporting you? Who are the people that you're surrounded with, right? Show me your friends and show me who you are. So the empowerment, the accountability piece. And then I started reading ever more, part of the continuous learning. I was ingesting material because I didn't like where I was in my 20s, in my early to mid 20s. I wanted to change. I wanted to be inspirational. I wanted to be in spirit, essentially, because inspirational comes from inspire, which in spirit and so on and so on. And, I wanted to do that. And so that is when the accountability piece came. And as I started to shift and I started to take accountability for my actions, and I started to grow as a person, and I recognized myself as a leader, and my confidence grew within myself. It grew because I wanted to be the best that I could possibly be to be able to lead my team. This is my time in the military. I wanted to know that I was giving my very best. And I will tell you, when you reach this point of empowerment and accountability, it can be a bit lonely. It can get tough because you are starting to do the internal work. There's a lot of internal work. You need to be confident within yourself, not cocky, not at all. But you need that empowerment. You need to know who you are. You need to know your skills, talents, gifts, and abilities. And you need to work on those things so it can improve. You need to understand your weaknesses as well and take accountability for those actions. And then recognize, okay, I need improvement in this area. I'll get support where I need it, but also work on those things, work on those areas where you need accountability. And this is part of your ecosystem in order for you to thrive as a leader in any industry. I am not making this stuff up. It is a formula. It's like science, like baking a cake. And depending on the different altitude that you are in, the cake can come out different. It can be successful or not successful. But it is a science. So architects of influence, right? Remember, architects have a vision. They write it down. What is your level of influence? They also recognize as architects, the work continues on. There's other people that supports them. They start off, then they need the engineers, then they need the construction, right? The builders, so on and so forth. It's a continuous process. In your ecosystem, you need to have strategic vision, not just any old vision. You need to have a strategy, a point of focus that really highlights what are your values. Your values are important. Your goals, the goal of the whole. Why? Because with strategic vision, you can effectively and efficiently, via your influence, right? Magnetize your team, harmonize your team together so you are moving as one. Remember, ducks fly together, right? They form a V, but everybody knows this is the final destination. They fly together. They move as one unit. They rest together. Starlings, they're birds. They do the same thing. When one goes one way, the rest follows, and so on and so forth. It's like they have one mind, part of the strategic vision. Then you move on to the second piece, which is relationship building. Who is supporting you as the leader? Who is working together with you as the leader? That is so important. Show me your friends and show me who you are. Show me your network and I will show you your net worth. And your network includes your character. It includes your personality. It includes your level of expertise. It includes also your finances. I have to mention it because I know people only stick to that one financial piece, but it is the whole. Remember, you have to look at things holistically. Beyond that, then you get into continuous learning. As a leader, it is imperative for you to continuously learn. Look at anyone and everyone, past, present, and even in the future, you will see that they are continuously learning. They're either reading books, or they're part of a program, or they're trying to understand the cutting edge revolution. You know who's continuously learning? You can like him or not like him or have your thoughts. Elon Musk. He continuously is learning. He has vision. So he's making all these various companies and he's trying out new things. Now, I'm not part of his network, so I don't know um, if it's good for the environment or not good for the environment. The point I want to illustrate is that he's continuously learning and he's always bringing on the best of innovation, of innovative people, of innovative minds to help him through it. And he's right there in the mix, right there in the mix. He wants to know what's going on. I'm just using him as an example in terms of continuously learning. You could pick anyone that is in your industry, a mentor that you aspire to be like, an ideal that can help you through that process of continuously learning. Then we get into empowerment and accountability. Yes, accountability makes you grow, not just as a leader, but as a human, 100%. I shared the example of myself when I was in my 20s, a young 20-year-old. No idea what the heck it meant to be a leader. No clue. And I didn't take accountability for my actions. I didn't do it because I didn't know any better. But then I started to learn. And that's part of the empowerment piece for yourself and the accountability. It helps you to breathe confidence when you start taking accountability for your actions, taking accountability for what went right or wrong. Now you can breathe a space of confidence. You can grow. Oh, yes. And that, Jesse, you are on fire today. I'm just loving this. And you're saying, yes, your income is a byproduct of how well you serve others. 100%, right? That's part of the building of the relationship piece, right? And he's absolutely right. Your network equals your net worth. And as I mentioned, it's not just the financial piece that will come, but it's all the other pieces, as I mentioned, like your character. That's also included in there. Those things that people forget. And finally, whew, like I'm just on fire over here. I don't know if you guys are feeling the fire as well, but this conversation today has just empowering me. It's just really revving me up 100%. And so I hope it is for you. I know it is with Jesse because he has just been on fire commenting. So I love that. Thank you so much, Jesse. And then the next piece is adaptability. You must become adaptable. You need to be flexible. You need to be open to change. Your flexibility. Many moons ago, I don't know if they ask this now in interviews. I don't know, but many moons ago, one of the questions, one of the things they wanted to see on a resume, this is like over a decade ago, yeah, over a decade ago, was you wanted to show that you were adaptable, that you were flexible. And that flexibility was important depending on which level of, for like whatever work you were applying um, for. The higher up you are in corporate, they need you to be adaptable. They need you to be flexible. Why? Because it's fast paced. Things are always shifting. So you need to be able to move. You cannot be rigid. 100% you cannot be rigid. You need to move. You need to shift. And that is essential. It's very hard for us as humans, but it's also easy, but it's hard for us as humans to change sometimes. But when we make that change and it's a good change and we're ready and willing to change, and to adapt and to become flexible, we can create the most amazing and wonderful environments, not only for ourselves, but for others. How adaptable are you in your industry? How flexible are you? I will give a great example. Many of you might know like Woolworths and Kmart. So these are very old retailers, like, you know, from the 60s, 70s, 80s, even 90s. 90s, they were essentially coming out of business. So if you know those ones, let me know, right? Um, yeah, the Kmart's and the Woolworths, they were in competition with each other. They're big retailers. Who's on top now? Walmart. Walmart. And Walmart is ever evolving. They started off with like the clothing and they had the lowest prices, right? Woolworth and Kmart was also known for their low prices, but then the industry shift and people wanted something more. And Walmart gave that to them. And then Walmart started to see, because they didn't want to get left behind in the retail industry, hey, let's include a grocery. Then they have their superstores, right? So then now people have this one stop shop. They come in, I shop the grocery aisles, I pick up clothes. Now, your thoughts on Walmart are your thoughts on Walmart. I'm not advocating for them. I'm just saying that as leaders, we need to be adaptable. In order to thrive in your ecosystem, you need to shift. You have to be able to see the future. You need to know where things are going to be. I used to work for a company, very big international company, before I had my daughter. And when I first got into the company, I was working there on contract and I was working for the CEO of their real estate department. And I discovered so many things in that department. What I found was that the CEO and his VP, what they would do is go out, scout land, wherever, right? To see, and then of course take the people, like, the land surveyors with them so they can test the soil and well, if they're going out there, the soil was already tested and they already knew and understood what that network, like the underground system was going to be like. So they have like this pre-planned space where people would already do the research. So by the time the CEO comes to watch the land, they already know how big this space is going to be, how big the community is going to grow to. Like, they had to know how big this community was going to grow to be. And then they would figure out how many people they are going to serve. Now, it could be in a small town. And like in a small town, you might look and think like, well, no, that's going to happen. But they already had the vision to know that in 10 years, in 20 years, because they know how long it's going to build something, they already know how long it's going to build it. They would know in like 20 years, okay, this is what's going to happen in 20 years. This is how this is how people make the trends, the trendsetters, the influencers. So this is how you need to think. Part of number one, the strategic vision. You need to have strategic vision so you can lead the people to what it is you need to do. So right now you might have 0 clients. Right now you're thinking, oh my goodness, what's going to happen with my business? But with the strategic visions and all the ecosystem that I mentioned there with you, you can also see the future. You have to know where the people are going to be. You need to know how to properly guide others, to encourage them, to empower them, to give them the value that they need so they are effectively sustained. They can survive, essentially leading to them thriving. They need you. And this is part of the adaptability. This is part of the ecosystem. You need to pivot and recognize, okay, this is what the initial investment, how is this is going to be broken down? How is this going to affect others? What is that community going to look like? So you need the big goals and then shrinking it down. Oh, I love what Jesse said here. Jesse said, be like water. Take the shape of what you're in. That's right. Yeah, Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee said that. Be like water. And I actually really love that they have a video of him talking about that, and there's more to it, but I love that piece. Be like water. Take the shape of where you're of what you're in, and also recognize the future, right? Because you are an architect of influence. Are there any questions? If you have any questions, please, I encourage you, leave it in the comments. I will respond to them as best as I can. Well, not as best as I can. I will respond to them, period. If you want to have some time with me, send me a DM. We'll set up a discovery call. We can discuss this a bit further, discuss where you are at. I will share with you some of the free resources that are available. I'm putting it right now in the comments, and then I will also put in here. So I have a crafting your leadership voice. This is an essential resource for you to use to help you thrive in your leadership ecosystem. It is detailed, it is comprehensive. The team worked on this very hard, and this is free. I will put it in the comments so then you click download it and work on it so you can start crafting your leadership voice. The other piece that I want to share with you that is free is also the ebook. It is the transformational free ebook. This will also be in the comments. And the reason why this is important is because now you are a leader. You need to understand how you are transforming lives. When you're building your ecosystem to thrive, you need to understand how you are transforming lives. Thank you so very much, all of you. Thank you so very much. Let me show, what did Jesse say? Thank you so much for your talk today. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Download those free resources. They are going to empower you and strengthen you. They are going to guide you through your leadership journey, regardless of where you are in industry, because it's meant to support your growth, even mine. And if you guys want to see what I wrote out, what I've done for crafting my leadership voice, yes, I have it. Yes, I've downloaded it. Yes, I've written it out. Let me know. I don't know. Should I share this with you? Should I show you my handwritten scribbles that I did that probably looks like gibberish to you all? But I will definitely encourage you to utilize this, about 14 or 15 pages. I've used it. And the reason why I've used it is because I want to make sure that what I am sharing with you is something that I'm using for myself. It's not something that is just randomly created and I'm just saying, oh, I hope that maybe it might work and somebody might see results. No, 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 no. No, not at all. I use it myself. If you want to know the value of using it and or what are the next steps after you're using it so you could start implementing it on your leadership journey, let me know, and then I can create a whole session on that as well. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Don't forget to download those free resources, Crafting Your Leadership Voice, as well as the Transformational Leadership ebook. They're both free. Have a great day.